was the Srikrishna Commission report rejected?
If you understand the scheme of the Act itself, Commission of Inquiries Act, it is provided that the report is purely recommendatory, it's not a judicial finding, and it is only for the understanding of the government. So the government has a right to reject the report wholly, partly, whatever they like, and therefore the principle of acceptance and rejection of a report is implicit in the scheme of the Act itself. Now they have rejected factually. If you want, I can give you that answer. You see, report is purely recommendatory. And if that report, according to the perception of the government, is not a report which deals with evidence even-handedly, what generally is called bias, there has been that word used, it's a general layman's phrase. But if there is a bias, as we call it, or departure from even-handed justice while appreciating the evidence, then the government is entitled to reject it. And here they have rejected it partially, to a certain extent as far as police are concerned, the recommendations to improve their working condition, they have accepted. So they have not done anything which previous governments have not hitherto before done.
Yes, Alori. Yeah. Mr. Shirodkar, as member of the Shiv Sena, do you think that the report was biased, or as you said, there was a departure from...
Why do you want me to talk as a member? I was a senior counsel appearing for Shiv Sena, and as a lawyer, I feel that it is inconsistent with the evidence on record. My role as a lawyer is more important to me than as a Shiv Sena fellow, because as a lawyer I have got some legal appreciation, legal background of more than 42 years standing, and I feel that this report has not done even-handed justice. And therefore, to that extent, I am also unhappy with this report.
The common perception is that the report was rejected solely to shield senior Sena leaders.
You see, this common perception stems from vested politicians. Anybody and everybody who has spoken from this doctrine have not ever read the evidence on record, which runs into 15,000 pages. They do not know what the evidence is. Therefore, they do not know whether the report has dealt with adequately on the basis of the evidence, and it reflects the evidence and the findings are consistent with the evidence. So their perception is a self-serving perception, because they feel that Bala Sahib is indicted or prosecuted, the person in charge falls down, and the government and the Shiv Sena and BJP will come tumbling down. That's their hope. And that hope is for self-rejuvenation, nothing beyond that. So this common perception of politician is devoid of merit.
You have gone through the report.
Yes.
Is there any point or any particular incident or any evidence that you feel pointed to something, but the fact that was the final finding was different?
Yes. If I were to detail all, it might take... I'll give you this simple thing. Let us take Samna and Navaka. Criticism has been leveled against them. Now, before Justice Srikrishna Commission, evidence has come on record that the Urdu papers were carrying on very highly inflammatory propaganda. There is no reference to it. Evidence has come on record from masjids. The call was given to Muslims to come on streets. That nowhere has been dealt with. Leaflets have been done, no reference to it. One person in charge of the masjid has been detained under the Act for creating inflammatory speeches, making them, exhorting Muslims to come on the street. No reference to it. Radhabai Chaul, 6 persons were kept inside, locked from outside, burnt, and that has been treated as if it's just act of some foolish miscreants on the Muslim side. And whenever something has been done by Hindus, it is frowned upon with the greatest possible emphasis. Now, that's not even-handed justice. I can go on giving. For example, Ghulam Nabi Azad and Javed Khan came to the stations. They came to which police station? Some police station, and they interfered. The inspector in charge there gave a complaint in writing. Nothing has been done. If others from Hindu community are to be indicted and shown in bad light, why no reference to them what they did? Nothing. No criticism of such behavior. Why do Muslim leaders come to predominantly Muslim area in Devnar and interfere with the working of the police? Nothing. Some people have sophisticated weapons were there. He has gone on the footing that the weapons were not discovered. But the commissioner who was there, he said that the firing in Muslim dominated area, which is known as private firing, was undertaken with sophisticated weapons. Now, merely because weapons are not found, are they going to be kept for display? They are bound to be taken away so that nobody can find them. Merely because they are not found, nothing has been relied upon. This is something which I do not accept as a even-handed justice.
The Shiv Sena has also spoken about a feud between Sharad Pawar and Sudhakar Rao Naik, which it seems is not adequately referenced to in the report.
No. The Commission's report does speak about the non-availability of the military for 4 days because Sudhakar Rao and the then Defence Minister Sharad Pawar where perhaps they had some difference of opinion. There is a reference to it. But the most important thing which has not been reflected in the report is that at that time and much prior to that, it was the Congress government who was in power. They are the ones who should have been controlling the law and order situation. They are the ones who should have anticipated the possibility of a riot. Now, nothing has been done by them. Who should shoulder the blame? The government which came thereafter by a heavy mandate of the electorate? This is something which I am unable to accept.
Mr. Shirodkar, is it correct to cast aspersions on the integrity or on the impartiality
of the judge? No, nobody has cast aspersions. They have said that the report is anti-Hindu. Now, please remember, a judge is a sitting judge or a retired judge. He heads the commission many times because he used to judicial proceedings, though commission proceedings are not judicial proceedings. But every judge, whether sitting judge, forget the commission even in an appeal, gives a judgment and the Supreme Court reverses it. It's not casting aspersion because no human being, including a judge, is infallible. So there are no aspersions cast on Justice Srikrishna. It is the report with which everybody is speaking and against it, including myself. We have nothing against Justice Srikrishna.
are talking about the Srikrishna Commission. What is your opinion about the findings of the commission?
I think the judge has done the Indian judiciary really proud. He's done an excellent job, and he has recorded for history the exact sequence of events as to what happened in Bombay in December 92, January 93 and March 93. So completely unbiased findings, and it's very ironic that the parties in power who are finding his findings problematic and who are making all kinds of allegations are the people who are guilty, have been held guilty in the report. So how can we hold any of their accusations to be true? The guilty party is making allegations of bias against a judge. They're bound to do so.
Do you have any doubt about the role of the Sainiks and Balasaheb during the riot?
Not at all. All of us who are as journalists or social activists covering the Bombay riots both in December and January clearly saw the way the pre-planned attacks were masterminded by Bal Thackeray. There was a witness in the commission, you might be knowing about that, who was a journalist from Mahanagar, Mr. Yuvraj Mohite, who was present at Mr. Bal Thackeray's house when he was issuing instructions to Shiv Seniks not to leave a single Muslim home or Muslim establishment untouched. It's clearly evident what he wrote in the pages of the Samna, what he said publicly, and it displays the moral courage of a person today that he doesn't have the courage to accept the consequences of what he did.
Why do you think the report was rejected?
Because it is held those guilty. The people in power, the party in power has been strongly indicted, therefore it was rejected. Madhukar Sarpotdar, Bal Thackeray and Manohar Joshi have been held to be guilty for inciting mobs to violence. How could you expect those people to accept such a report and implement the recommendations? I hope you know, by the way, that the whole report has not been rejected. The administrative findings have been accepted, and these findings have to do with the communalization of the police force, deep-rooted bias, conviction of 15 police officers directly, including former Commissioner of Police Tyagi, etc. Now these people have been found guilty of communal bias, acting in collusion with Shiv Seniks. So the government has accepted one part of the report, ironically, and rejected another part.
The commission also castigates Sudhakar Rao Naik for failing to stop the riot and hints at a Sharad Pawar Naik feud.
Yeah. Well, you see, I wish the report had gone into a bit more detail about that. That's my only small comment on the report as far as that is concerned. That the Congress role at that time, it was the ruling Congress government in the state which allowed the Shiv Seniks to go on the rampage. And this is the pattern of how the Congress has allowed the Shiv Sena to grow in Maharashtra, not taking action against it, which is why today they are what they are. Till February 1995, there was no question of their being in power. It was always Congress governments who were in power, who did not take action against Bal Thackeray and his men when they incited people to violence. So today you've created the tiger, and the Congress cannot but accept historical role for that. So what the judge has commented at the effect political leadership of Nayak and the Pawar-Nayak feud, in fact, is not only just true, it was cruelly true in Bombay at that time. That it required just firm instructions from Mantralaya to the police to behave in a categorically positive manner vis-a-vis the minorities. Unfortunately, those instructions did not come from the Chief Minister's chair, they did not come from the Defence Minister's chair. So they will have to hold historical blame too. I wish the judge had been more pointed in that direction.
Do you think injustice was done on one community?
Certainly. In fact, most of us covering the riot at that time, you can describe the December riots to some extent as angry Muslims coming out on the streets to demonstrate and then finding themselves facing the brunt of a cruel police force who fires at them inadvertently. But January 1993 was nothing short of an unmitigated pogrom against one community. It was a systematic attempt in area after area after area to target Muslim homes, kill Muslim people, rape some Muslim women and burn Muslim establishments. When we saw the timber mart at Mahim burning on the 9th of January 10, it was a very, very clear attempt at sabotage of one community.
Thank you.
come down to this magazine?
Sir, he was just